Welcome. You have successfully checked into your abundance timeline.
All right. If I told you that the reason money manifestation hasn't been working for you is not because you're doing it wrong, but because nobody has actually really explained how it works, would you feel like a little relieved? Like, oh man, like, okay, maybe it's not me. I feel like the manifestation industry has kind of done a poor job explaining the actual mechanism behind all of this, right? So it's kind of, raise your vibration, do the vision board, make sure you're positive thinking every single day, right? And then when none of it works, you're like, I don't know, maybe it doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm broken. Like manifestation works for everybody else except me. But obviously, it's not you. You're not broken. You were just never given the full picture. So today, I'm going to give you the full picture. We're going to go deep on how money manifestation actually works, the real science, the identity piece, the nervous system, like all of it. And by the end of this episode, you're going to understand not just what to do, but you're going to understand why it works. And then when you understand the why, girl, the how becomes fucking obvious. So, welcome to the Rich Girl Podcast. My name is Karyn Medeiros. If you are new here, I am your award-winning manifestation coach. And let's just get into it. Okay. So, let's start at the beginning. Okay. This is where I think this is where kind of everyone falls apart because nobody really agrees on what manifestation actually is. So let me give you my definition, the one I teach, okay? The one that I teach, and the one that I follow. So manifestation is the process of becoming the identity of someone who already has what you want. And then you operate from that identity. So consistently, your thoughts, your actions, your decision, and your energy begin to produce that result. Okay. So manifestation is not wishful thinking, which sometimes we all wish it was, but it's not. Manifestation is not, it's not even a random request that you send to the universe and then you just wait for delivery. Okay. It's not something that happens to you. It's something that you become. So the woo-woo side of this is real. Like I'm not dismissing energy, frequency, or anything spiritual of this work. Like those things matter. I use all of those. They absolutely matter. But they work through you. Okay? You're not just waiting for the universe to hand you a check. You are the what's the word? Abundance works through you is what I really want to say. Okay. So once it lands in your body, everything about your manifestation practice changes. Okay. So we're going to go through the full explanation. We're going to talk about neuroscience, nervous system, identity. Okay. So let's get into it. So there's 3 parts. Here's the science, okay? Your brain has a filter. I'm sure that you have heard me talk about our brain and our filter. Sometimes you will hear RAS, which is RAS, and it's a short form for your reticular activating system. So a part of your brain is actually called the reticular, holy shit, I can never pronounce that one. That's why I always just say RAS. Your reticular activating system, which is called the RAS. So it is one of the most important things that you will ever learn about why manifestation works. Okay. So right now, as you're listening to me, your brain is receiving approximately 11 million bits of information per second. So everything your 5 senses are picking up, sounds, temperature, light, physical sensations, and the content of what I'm saying, all of it, all at once, right? Your brain is receiving all of that information all at once, 11 million bits per second. So, you know how many of those do you know how many of those you're consciously aware of? So, out of 11 million, you are literally consciously aware of about 40. 40 out of 11 million. So what's happening to the other 10,999,999,000, right? Your brain is filtering them out. It's deciding in real time, thousands of times per second, what is relevant to you and what isn't. Like what makes it to your conscious awareness and what doesn't. So this is how this is the science piece that connects directly to manifestation. Your RAS filters, your brain filters based on what it believes is relevant to your identity. Your brain has built a model of who you are, and it's built a model of who you are based on your beliefs, your current or your past experiences, your self-concept of yourself, your dominant thoughts, and it uses that model to decide what information matters to you. So let's apply this to money. If you have this deep belief that you are someone that struggles with money or someone who never has enough money, right? Or you'll never really be financially stable. Guess what? Your brain is running that filter all day long. It's literally filtering out evidence of opportunity, abundance, money, possibility, because it has decided that those things are not relevant to someone like you. The opportunity was there. The idea was there, that the door was open, but your brain just didn't flag it as important because based on everything that you've shown it, everything that you have said to it, you are not someone whose those things are for. So now flip it. What if we started to shift your identity? What if you started operating as someone who expects money to flow to you, who believes I can be financially stable, who sees yourself as someone as, okay, opportunities actually do come to me. What happens? Your brain starts to recalibrate. It starts flagging the things that it was filtering out. So the conversation you overhear, the idea that wakes you up at 3 a.m., right? The person who just happens to start following you and then turns out to be your next perfect client, the opportunity you would have scrolled past. Your brain is now doing exactly what it's designed to do. It is finding more of what you've told it to look for. So this is why identity work is the foundation of everything. This is why I teach identity work, and I teach it through manifestation. It's the foundation because, until you change what your brain is filtering for, you can fucking visualize all day long, but you will never see the opportunities that are right in front of you. Okay? So then that's your brain's filter. The next science piece is your nervous system is running the show. Okay? Like running the show. You can't manifest from a dysregulated nervous system. So your nervous system has two primary states, which I'm sure you've heard: flight or fight. Okay. Your sympathetic nervous system is your stress response, your survival mode, right? And then there's your rest and digest. That is your parasympathetic nervous system. That is the safety state. That is the open state. When your nervous system is in survival mode, right? You're stressed, you're anxious, you're fearful, you're in lack, you're in scarcity. Well, your brain is in threat detection mode. So it's literally prioritizing survival over anything else. And in that state, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for creative thinking, long-term planning, seeing possibility, goes to sleep. It goes offline, right? Your brain narrows its focus to what is the threat? How do I survive it? When you are in that state, you literally cannot see opportunity. You cannot receive. You cannot think expansively. Your entire system is contracted only around survival. So if you grew up in an environment where money was stressful, there wasn't enough, it was complicated, it was scarce, it wasn't great, you have a nervous system that has been conditioned to treat money itself as a threat. So what happens when money comes up? What happens when you look at your bank account, right? When somebody asks about your prices, when you're about to make a really big money decision, what happens? Your nervous system activates. It goes into a low grade stress response. And from that threatened state, you're in that contracted threatened state. You make decisions, you show up to your calls, you post on social media, you price your offers, you know what I mean? But you're doing all of that from a low grade stress response. And then you think, oh my God, this doesn't work. I'm bad at this. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, you're trying to create an abundant life, or you're trying to create or attract abundance, but you're doing it from a survival state. Those two things are neurologically incompatible. So what do you do about it? You train your nervous system to feel safe with money, safe with the idea of having money, safe when you look at your numbers, safe when you talk about money, and safe when you receive money. So this is what I teach as the window of tolerance, your nervous system's capacity to hold your emotions, your sensations, your experiences without going into overdrive. You expand that window through practice, through regulation, through constantly showing your body that, hey, money is safe, like abundance is safe, like I can receive and I can feel good about it. And this is exactly why I created my Rich Girl Gratitude Journal, why I have you open up your bank app every single morning and I have you sit with your balance without reacting. Just thank you. I see you. There's more coming. Because every time that you do that, every time that you look at your reality, your financial reality, and you choose calm regulation over reaction, what are you doing? You're expanding your window of tolerance. You're training your nervous system that, hey, bitch, money is not a threat. And a regulated nervous system is what? A regulated nervous system is a receiving nervous system. And that's what we need. We need a regulated nervous system that is okay to receive. And then the third part of science, the third science, nerded out science, neuroplasticity and identity. So I'm sure that you've heard of neuroplasticity. Okay. So this is the third science concept. Neuroplasticity. Your brain is not fixed, right? It's not what it is. It's like, oh, it is what it is. Nope. It's not set in stone. It's not locked into the patterns and beliefs that it defaults that it currently already has. Your brain is plastic, meaning it has the ability to physically change. That's why they call it neuroplasticity. It has the ability to physically change, to grow new neural connections. Your brain can rewire itself based on your repeated thoughts and your behaviors. Your neurons literally form new pathways when you practice new ways of thinking, new ways of behaving. And then the old pathways, the ones that, maybe we're running your current money story, weaken when you stop feeding them. So right now you have a money story, a set of beliefs, patterns, defaults around money that feel like they're yours. They feel automatic, right? Like, money is hard to make. I'm not good with money. Money comes in faster. Money goes out faster than it comes in. Wealthy people are different from me. Each month, I always end up back at zero. Whatever your version is, those beliefs exist as literal neural pathways in your brain. So you have been reinforcing those thousands of times. And then if you have been, doing that thousands of times, well, guess what? They fire quick quick and easy. But the good thing is that they're not permanent, right? So every time you practice a new thought, like, money comes to me pretty easy. I am someone who creates wealth. Um, Receiving money is actually safe for me. And if you constantly practice that, and you practice it with, with a little bit of feeling, a little bit of belief, well, then what are you doing? You are laying down a new neural pathway. Every time you take an action that the wealthy version of you would take, even if it's just a small one, you're reinforcing that pathway. And over time, the new pathway becomes the default, and then the old one fucking fucks off, right? This is what identity recalibration actually is at a neurological level. So it's not just affirmations, it's not just mindset work. It's literally restructuring your brain to have a different default relationship with money, wealth, whatever, your own capacity. So whatever your money story has been up until right now, like, you've been running the same patterns. You're not stuck with it. Your brain can actually change. Your brain is designed to change. You just have to give it the right input, and you've got to do it consistently, and you've got to do it over time, right? So this is what a daily manifestation practice is doing at the neurological level. That's why identity work is doing. That's what all of it is doing. It's not woo-woo. It's neuroscience, and it works, right? It works. So then it's like, well, then why don't people like explain manifestation this way, right? A couple of reasons. The science piece requires you to do homework. It requires people to do homework. And it's just kind of easier to sell, hey, manifest money in 7 days, than to explain the reticular activating system, your brain's filter, your, regulating your nervous system, neuroplasticity, how they all work together, right? How to manifest money in 7 days is just a simple, it's a much more simple sell, right? Even when it's the truth, it's just a harder pitch. So people don't really talk about manifestation that way. The spiritual community and the science community historically don't really talk to one another. So you get teachers who go deep on the woo-woo, and then they dismiss the science, and then you get scientists who dismiss like the spiritual part. And then we get left in the middle trying to choose between them, like, oh, which one is it? Right? A lot of manifestation teaching is actually just missing the identity piece, right? Most people will just jump straight to the techniques, jump straight to the visualization, the scripting, the affirmations, without addressing the question. Probably the most important question is, who are you being while you do those techniques? Who are you being when you're doing your visualization? Who are you being when you're scripting, when you're saying your affirmations, right? Because if you're doing a visualization from the identity of someone who doesn't really believe it's possible for her, guess what? Your brain knows. Your brain knows, your body knows. You can write the most beautiful script, and you can speak the most beautiful, powerful affirmations. But if the underlying identity hasn't shifted, then those techniques are just words. And the techniques work. I use them, I teach them, but they work because they reinforce a new identity, right? When a new identity is in place, then everything else amplifies that. But if your identity piece is missing, then nothing sticks, right? So I think that's why nobody really explains manifestation, fully, right? But the full explanation of manifestation is this. And write this down. Identity first, science second, techniques third. Right? So before I leave you for next week, I want you to take something away, and I want you to actually do something. So there's 3 things I want you to do. Number 1, I want you to audit your identity. Ask yourself, what do I actually believe about me and money right now? Not what you wish you believe. What do I believe, right? What do I actually believe in my body? So write it down. Second, start regulating your nervous system around money. So I want you to pick one thing that currently triggers you, right? Like it's a trigger stress response for you. If it's looking at your bank account, if it is talking about your prices, if it is going grocery shopping, receiving a payment, paying a bill, I want you to start doing it more with the intention of regulation rather than reaction. Just like whenever you do it, you know what? I'm safe. This is safe. More is coming, right? And do it if you can do whatever that current stress, whatever that current trigger is, do it every day until it becomes boring. That's how you know it's working, right? So like if you have a trigger of like, oh, money, I just never have enough. Open up your bank app every single morning. If you have my Rich Girl Gratitude Journal, which you can purchase on Amazon, but if you do have it, then you know that I make you open your bank app every single day. I make you write down your bank balance every single day so you can sit with it and you can be like, okay, because it's going to go up and down, but it's like, all right, I'm safe. This is safe. More is coming. And then third, build the new identity through repetitions. So your affirmations, your scripting, your visualization, these are your tools for neuroplasticity, but use them from the right place. Don't use them because you're in a survival mode or you're in desperation, right? You're in, lack. I want you to use them from certainty, like this shit is already done. I want you to embody the feeling of already having what you want and then letting the techniques, the tools amplify that. 5 minutes a day, every day is literally more powerful than an hour once a week. You got to show up for it. Okay. The identity work, the nervous system, the tools, the practice, that's what I teach. That's what manifestation is and really works. And if you do want to be like, you know what, give me show me how to do all of that. I have Become Her. I have Become Her Health, and I have Become Her Wealth. It's a self-paced program that you can start doing. I'll leave the links below in the show notes. And it's kind of like everything all put together. It's the science, it's the techniques, it's the actual doing, and you're going to actually have results. So we have one for health, right? Why make all this money if you're not healthy? So we have Become Her Health, and then we have Become Her Wealth. So I'll leave all that below. Anyways, I hope this helped. I would share this episode with as many people as you can. I think that manifestation kind of has a bad rap out there to some because they're only being taught, 1/3 of what they're supposed to be taught. But if you actually understand all of the science and all of the tools and how it all works, why wouldn't you start doing it? So anyways, thank you for hanging out with me this week. I appreciate you so, so much. I'll leave all the information that you need below, and I will see you next week. Ciao.